Here's a reformulated version of the original text in American English, maintaining its length, meaning, originality, and adjusting punctuation for clarity and flow. This morning, a 72-year-old man passed away quietly in his home. He wasn't sick, and he wasn't in a hospital. He simply began his day with a few habits he thought were harmless. But those small choices had built up over time, silently pushing his health to the brink. The truth is, mornings carry more weight than we realize, especially after 70. What you do or don't do in those first few minutes can impact your heart, your brain, and even your safety. In this video, we'll walk through 5 common morning mistakes that too many seniors make, often without realizing it. They may seem minor, but each one is linked to a higher risk of falls, heart attacks, strokes, or long-term decline. Stick with me until the end, because these aren't just health tips, they're wake-up calls. Changing even one of them could help you stay stronger and here longer for the people who love you. Let's dive in. Mistake 1. Skipping hydration first thing in the morning. One of the most dangerous things you can do without even thinking about it is forgetting to drink water after waking up. After a full night's sleep, your body is mildly dehydrated. Your blood is a bit thicker, your organs are working harder, and your heart has to pump through it all without help. After 70, your kidneys and cardiovascular system aren't as forgiving. This one habit can quietly raise your risk of stroke, heart attack, or sudden dizziness that leads to a fall. Think of Carl, 75, who always headed straight for the coffee pot. He'd pour a strong cup, take it to the living room, and sit quietly to start his day. But one morning, he stood up too fast and collapsed. At first, his family thought it was the coffee. Later, his doctor explained it wasn't the caffeine. It was that he hadn't had a drop of water since the night before. His blood pressure had dropped, his blood had thickened, and his heart was working harder than it should. That morning, his body just couldn't keep up. Drinking a glass of water within 10 to 15 minutes of waking up restores fluid balance, jumpstarts your metabolism, and protects your heart. It doesn't need to be complicated, just plain water, room temperature. If you take medications first thing, that water also helps them absorb properly and eases the strain on your stomach and kidneys. It's one of the easiest habits to build, but also one of the most life-saving. If you're waking up and skipping water, or if coffee or juice is the only thing you drink before noon, it's time to rethink that pattern. Every cell in your body, especially your heart and brain, relies on hydration to function. What you do in the first 5 minutes of your morning could quietly shape how many more mornings you get to enjoy. Mistake 2. Getting out of bed too fast. There's something many people do without thinking, especially in the morning, that quietly increases their risk of serious injury: getting out of bed too quickly. After lying still for hours, your blood pressure naturally dips, and your circulation slows. When you swing your legs over the side of the bed and stand up too fast, your body can't always adjust in time. That sudden dizziness, that brief blackout, that feeling of unsteadiness, it's not just aging. It's your body struggling to stabilize. For many older adults, this one habit leads to a fall that changes everything. Take Raymond, 78. Every morning he'd open his eyes, sit up, and stand within seconds. For years, it worked fine. But one day, he stood up too fast, lost his balance, and hit his head on the corner of a dresser. He spent 2 nights in the hospital, not because he was sick, but because his body didn't have time to adjust. The diagnosis was straightforward: orthostatic hypotension. His blood pressure had dropped when he stood, and his body couldn't keep up. Yet it was entirely preventable. After 70, your body needs a few extra seconds to recalibrate. Taking a minute to sit up slowly, stretch, and dangle your legs over the edge of the bed helps your blood circulate. Placing your hands on your thighs and breathing deeply before standing gives your heart and brain time to catch up. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It can be the difference between a peaceful morning and a 911 call. If you've ever felt lightheaded when standing or brushed it off as just being tired, it's time to listen closer. Your body is trying to warn you. By honoring those warnings with a little patience, you gain more strength, stability, and days of independence. That first move of the morning doesn't have to be risky. It can be slow, intentional, and steady. That choice, made each day, might just keep you standing tall for years to come. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment 2 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Let's move on. Mistake 3. Ignoring early signs of chest discomfort or shortness of breath. It's deeply human to brush off discomfort, especially first thing in the morning. You wake up with a slight tightness in your chest or feel a bit winded just walking to the kitchen, and you tell yourself it's probably nothing. But after 70, those small morning signals are often not just tiredness or age, they're early warnings. The quiet hours right after waking are when your heart is under the most stress. Your blood is thicker, your blood pressure starts to rise, and your body is shifting from rest to activity. That's why heart attacks, strokes, and breathing issues tend to happen more often in the early morning than any other time of day. Think of Glenn, 72, who woke up one day with mild chest discomfort. Not pain, just a strange pressure. He made some toast, sipped tea, and figured it would pass. But within an hour, that pressure turned into shortness of breath. By the time help arrived, he was slipping into cardiac arrest. Glenn survived, barely. When doctors reviewed his case, they said what so many hear too late. If only you'd called an hour earlier. After 70, you have to think differently. Your body still works, but it signals in whispers. That odd feeling in your chest, that unusual fatigue, that slight shortness of breath. These aren't annoyances to ignore. They're early warnings. When you respond to them with care, you give your body a chance to recover before things spiral. Morning symptoms, in particular, aren't something to wait out, because in many cases, time lost is life lost. If you wake up feeling heaviness in your chest, pressure in your shoulders or arms, or unusual breathlessness just moving around your house, don't chalk it up to sleep or stress. Take it seriously. Breathe slowly, and if it doesn't pass quickly, call someone. Listening to your body isn't overreacting, it's survival. What feels like a small, forgettable moment might be your chance to save your own life. Mistake 4. Taking medications on an empty stomach without checking. Many older adults start their mornings with a familiar routine. Reach for the pill box, swallow a few medications, and move on with the day. But one of the most common and risky mistakes after 70 is taking certain medications on an empty stomach. Not all pills are meant to be absorbed without food. Some can irritate your stomach lining, others can cause a sudden drop or spike in blood pressure, and a few don't work as well without food to help them absorb. The danger isn't in the medication itself, it's in the timing and how your body processes it. Consider Alice, 74, who took her blood pressure medication every morning as prescribed. But she often skipped breakfast or didn't eat until late morning. Over time, she started having dizzy spells around 8 or 9 a.m. One day, she lost her balance in the bathroom and hit her shoulder against the sink. After a hospital visit, the doctors asked when she last ate before taking her medication. That was the turning point. The combination of an empty stomach and her medication was lowering her blood pressure too much, too fast. This scenario isn't uncommon. Many medications, especially those for blood pressure, cholesterol, thyroid function, or pain, react differently depending on what's in your stomach. Even if you've taken them the same way for years, your body's ability to process them can change as you age. What worked fine at 60 may not at 75. That's why reading the instructions, asking your pharmacist, or reviewing your medication plan with your doctor is crucial. Not just once, but regularly. Having a small piece of toast, a banana, or a few crackers before taking your pills can make a big difference. If your medications need to be taken on an empty stomach, it's even more important to sit still. Avoid rushing into activities, and pay attention to how your body feels in the minutes that follow. Managing your health isn't just about what you take, it's about how you take it. Respecting that balance might protect you from falls, injuries, or complications you never saw coming. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, comment 4 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Let's keep going. Mistake 5. Skipping a proper breakfast or relying only on caffeine. The final mistake many older adults make, sometimes with the best intentions. Is starting the day with nothing but a cup of coffee or, worse, skipping breakfast altogether. It might feel like a small choice, especially if you're not hungry in the morning. But after 70, the stakes are higher. Your body is more sensitive to drops in blood sugar. Your muscles rely on steady fuel to stay strong, and your brain needs proper nutrition to remain clear and alert. When you skip that first energy boost, the effects hit faster than you'd expect. Dizziness, weakness, irritability, even confusion. Think of Ruth, 76, who loved her quiet mornings. She'd sip coffee in silence for an hour, maybe nibble a cookie later, but rarely made a full breakfast. Over time, she felt more tired during her morning walks. She stumbled once on a sidewalk crack, brushed it off, and told herself she was just getting older. But at her next checkup, her doctor found signs of muscle loss, low vitamin levels, and early blood sugar imbalances. None of it was due to illness. It was the slow, silent cost of skipping nutrition each morning. Caffeine alone creates an illusion of energy. It wakes you up, lifts your mood, makes you feel sharp. But without real calories, that boost fades fast. It can mask fatigue, increase anxiety, and lead to a crash that affects your balance and focus. If you're taking medications in the morning, as many do, skipping food can worsen side effects. Your stomach might feel unsettled, or your blood pressure could drop more than it should. A proper breakfast doesn't mean a big meal. It can be simple and manageable: a boiled egg, a slice of whole grain toast, some yogurt with fruit. What matters is that your body gets protein, fiber, and a little fat to sustain you through the morning. When your brain and muscles are fueled, you move better, think better, and lower the risk of falls or cognitive slips that could cause harm. If your routine right now is just coffee, it's time to reconsider. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because your body is different now. It needs steady care to keep giving you steady strength. That first meal of the day doesn't just fill your stomach. It tells your body, I'm here, I'm paying attention, and I want to be well for many mornings to come. Final thoughts. By now, you've seen how easily small morning habits can carry big consequences after 70. Your body is still capable, but it's also more sensitive. What happens in those first minutes of your day often sets the tone for everything that follows. Skipping water, rushing out of bed, ignoring discomfort, taking pills without food, or skipping breakfast altogether, none of these feel dangerous in the moment. But over time, they can quietly erode your health, sap your energy, or increase your risk of falls, heart strain, or sudden illness. The good news? Every one of these mistakes is preventable. And the best part? It doesn't take drastic changes, just small, mindful shifts in how you treat your body at the start of the day. What's powerful is that these aren't just rules, they're acts of self-respect. When you pause to drink water, you're telling your heart, I want to support you. When you rise slowly, you're telling your brain, I'm not going to rush you. When you listen to chest pressure or an odd breath, you're telling your life, I'm paying attention. And when you eat something nourishing, you're saying, I still want to be here. For me, for the people I love, for all the mornings still ahead. So take a moment to think. Which of these 5 mistakes has crept into your routine? Which one could you change starting tomorrow? You don't have to fix everything at once. Just begin with care. Because mornings matter. They speak for your body, they set your pace, and sometimes they determine how long you'll be here to enjoy what's next. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts matter to us, so don't hesitate to share. Reading your comments motivates and encourages us. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.